Well, Jack is in a really painful leadership moment here. He is in one of those classic damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of political vices. There is no way he could have whipped the vote. And if he had tried and failed, that would have been a leadership failure, because he has several MPs who regard it as a bond with their voters that they campaigned on this issue to vote in one way and they cannot be shifted. What was lost in the drafting and in the implementation was the notion that somebody who owns an automatic rifle in downtown Toronto is the same as a grandmother in Whitehorse who lives by herself in a cabin. I mean, they're not the same. And so we make all kinds of distinctions about what you're allowed to do in urban life as opposed to rural life in many other areas, driving and home ownership rules and safety rules, and we failed to do that here. We treated the country as if there was only one kind of Canadian and one kind of community. It would have been a failure for him if he had simply said everybody can do what they like. What he's clearly trying to do behind the scenes is to narrow the numbers and to try and see if some compromise can edge the vote over the line. I think in a more rational policymaking environment, less under a political spotlight, several people have proposed several quite reasonable compromises, it seems to me. But I think there is an incentive on the part of all the players to try and force the others into positions of absolute obduracy and no concessions, no prisoners. So I don't think there's going to be much compromise. The irony, of course, is that as soon as Mr. Harper is defeated, whenever that is, the gun registry will be reinstated. So this is all a bit of foolishness in some respects. I guess if I were to predict, I would say, irrespective of what the vote outcome is, Jack's cool under pressure in handling it and the grace with which he has treated the dissidents in his own caucus and the critics on both sides is probably going to help him get through it more successfully than it looks now. I think Ignatieff is being a little too smart-alecky, partisan. Mr. Harper's position is sort of in concrete. And so I think there are probably quite a few Canadians who would say, well, you know, he was in a jam. There was no way he could have escaped that jam. He handled it as well as one might reasonably expect a leader to handle it.